What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Sniper Squad Day Trading. My name is Hassan. They call me H. What's going on, everybody? Here to go over my mini trades for the day. It has been a wild week of just yesterday and today. Um, Yesterday was a lot worse than today. Um, and today has erased yesterday, which is a good thing, I think. Um, but let's talk about it. So, um, where did I start today? Was it BMNR? I think it might have been BMNR. I don't know. Let's start here anyway. So BMNR, um, it was on the scanner. Really needed to get in down here, but didn't have the higher high. It was still below a lot of the volume of the day. Highest volume was right here though, so I mean I kind of could have justified jumping in there, but the entry was really wide, and I've been not really liking those kind of entries, so passed up on that, and then came up here, pulled in, and then kind of got the double bottom there holding pre-market high, and I was like, well, let's see if it'll come up and give me a higher low, which it didn't give me the higher high, so technically I should not have taken this trade. It's pretty extended, long way from the VWAP test. I mean, to me, the high volume area is more
SEI.
important than VWAP. So there's an argument to be made about testing this high right here, but I still did not get the higher high. What did this look like on the 5? I have been playing the 5 a lot. Yeah, it's not really, it's not A plus. Like, you could totally pass up on this, and I really want to get to the point where I'm passing up on these. So on to CLF, but risk was managed well. I think I risked to the low of this candle and then tightened up uh to this candle because I think I knew it was kind of a raggedy setup. So I mean, those you can just not trade those at all. Instead of trying to expertly manage the risk, just don't trade it. Simple as that. All right, so this one right here, this is actually a pretty decent setup. You got your high volume levels here, and then we got this other high up here. So, I mean, I could have made an argument for sure. I mean, actually, just looking at that, really, like, if I put my line there, I mean, it's not a good spot. We're in the range. If I was gonna take it, I could have sold into that level, but I didn't even have that up there. So, but I mean, for a trade, like if I'm
SEI.
not looking at any of that, it's a pretty nice little setup off the WAP. Nice little 5 minute higher low right there, and the break higher, pretty decent. Just with my target usually being back through the highs and beyond, it's just not that type of setup, and I'm just not. It's hard for me to take profit, like, unless I'm up bigly. I think I was up like 1.8 R right there though, so it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it went up enough for me to raise my stop up. Only lost zero point 0.1 R on that, so kind of a break even trade. Not the worst. Could have been better. Could have been better. All right, moving on. INFQ. This is definitely my most regrettable trade of the day. Clearly under the highest volume area. You know, uh, yeah, and then it is choppy. Look at all these topping tails, like really whipping around. Just not a clean thing to trade. I could have definitely left that alone, and I'm pretty sure this was after my win on QBTS, which we'll look at next. But yeah, it's just not pretty. It's just not pretty. If it's ugly, like if you look at it and it's literally ugly, like that's sign number one to just leave it alone. You know, but just still a little curious, a little too. Trey put it in such a nice term, just curious. Like you just want to check it out. You just want to put a few shares on there and see what happens. That's not what we're here to do at all. But this was my worst loss of the day, also. And I mean, I just didn't even have a really clear low to put my stop. Also, what I want to focus on going forward is having my stop under the last 5 minute low, like when I enter the trade. And if that doesn't make sense, then the trade probably doesn't make sense, you know? Especially when I'm looking to add to. That's kind of back on the table. Uh, Shout out Pond. It's something I've always believed in since I read the book. Actually, before I read the book, but once I read the book, I was like, what I'm thinking in my mind is okay. It's actually recommended. Best loser wins. But yeah, so that's kind of back on the table. So with that, I can use a much better risk for my entry. And, if it works, then I can look to, add more, tighten up risk and stuff like that. All right, on to the fun one. Oh, man. So this is also actually a really good example about using the 5 minute low for my stop. So this first entry, 5 minute low, I believe, yeah, was already put in down here at 1547. I got in here with my stop under this low, which it should have been under this low, which my stop was like at 1553, I think. And, it just chopped around and did a little double bottom here, which I still would have been in had I used that low as my risk. Especially like if my stop management is moving my stop under the 5 minute closes, it makes sense to start out under a 5 minute close. You know what I mean? But so I got in here and got wicked out. Not wicked out, but stopped out. Came back, looked at it, still liked it. Liked it even more actually. So jumped right back in. And then yeah, this is the moment that blew open the doors on adding, I think. I might have added yesterday. I'm not sure. But yeah. So added into that, and this got a little scary. This would have been a much nicer place to add, but we'll get better. And man, I think I was up like maybe 2.5 R up in here. I wanted to wait for 16. I think I sold it like 93 or so. It looked like we got pretty close. 90, 98, 99-ish on that sale. Pretty nice. And it was a pretty good sell. Pulled back in. I was so close to adding back right here, but I'm still pretty scary about it, to be honest. But it's really nice level. Like it literally came back and tested this previous high. Super nice. But I was just still holding some shares left and sold up here. Zoom out a little more. And ooh, we held it all the way up to there. And that's just from using the 5 minute lows and moving my stop up under the 5 minute lows. Allowed me to stay in that trade that long. And where did we make it? And that was it. So pretty much that was the end of that move, end of that trade. And I think I was up 3R maybe on that. Really nice trade. I mean, this is like one I've been wanting to catch a trade like this for a long time, man. And either I mess it up or I'm just not looking in the right place. So today everything lined up, and then we get here. Let's check this out on the 5. So we pull back in on the 5. We got this nice lower volume pullback, right into this high right there. And I'm like, man, that looks pretty saucy. Really narrow range entry right there. So I take that. The volume profile was nice too. I liked seeing this big volume pop on this green candle and then lower volume on the next 2 red candles. I love that setup. So yeah, I felt comfortable taking that break. It was a nice break on the 1 and the 5. And then I added here. And we were pretty saucy, man. I wanted 7. Okay, this is the one I kind of punked out because I wanted 17 over here, but I sold it like 93. And then it did end up going up through 17. It went up to 1706 and ended up stopping out the rest of the shares. But I sold 80% here and then stopped out the rest, like 1680s or so. And yeah, man, that was that 5.9 R right there. So that was super cool. Did I not have? I don't think I did anything else on here. Yeah. And so that was the end of my trading session. Got off the stream. And yeah, I don't know how I ended up over here on APLD. I think it might have been my scanner still being open. But I actually took this. Where you at? Where you at? Okay. Um okay, yeah, I think I was still looking at this high right here.
SEI.
Yeah, yeah, this is the highest volume right there. So this is my HVS right there. And then we get a nice move up and sweet hammer candle right there on the EMA and that high volume support line. Had to take that. I actually wanted to add right here, but it shot up so fast. Like I was waiting for the break of '06, and that thing just pew, just shot right up there. And I was like, I don't want to chase it and make my average up too high or whatever. So I just let it ride. And if I did get that ad, I think for sure I would have taken some off up here because I would have been well into the money. But I did not. So this ended up being a half R trade right here. And then now I'm back in the trenches, so I'm watching it, and I get in here and lose my half. I lost like zero point 0.7 R, so I lost my half R plus zero point 0.2 R, and I'm still liking it. It's just still looking like it's holding, and I wish I noticed that the SPY wasn't downtrending at the time. Might have saved me some heartache, but ended up getting back in. I did not want this ad. This ad
WT.
came from looking at the level 2 and not actually looking at the prices coming through the time and sales. Because I was looking for a price break of this high, and it popped up on the level 2, but it didn't actually transact. And so I kind of got a false ad in right here, but it still maintained my stop. So I just kind of hung out,
WRBY.
sweating in my boots, and man, it just took forever, and then it finally um got some energy, and I mean it really started popping up there. Um, Started to run really nicely, and at this point, I was kind of trading my P&L. I really wanted to get 3R here, and I really wanted to pass 6R. Um, so when I got about to 3R in profits, I sold 80% and then sold another little bit pretty quickly and had my stop up super tight. But it didn't really go that much higher, so it worked out. It worked out. And so ended up with 6.4
YETI.
R on the day. And it's funny because I raised my risk. I guess I raised my max loss. When I was doing one trade a day, I was doing $5 a trade,
WT.
$5 an R. And then yesterday, I raised my max loss because I raised it to $5 because I was doing one trade a day. And then yesterday, I decided to not do one trade a day and still left it at $5 a trade. Um, but I like totally spazzed out yesterday and had a minus 5R a day. And I was like, man, I should go back. I don't like losing $25 in a day. I should lower my risk. But it's like, dang, man, I hate losing at a higher risk level and then not giving myself a chance to have a good day at that risk level and possibly make it back. So, I mean, it feels good to have made it back for sure. And then some. I'm actually green on the month of April now because of this. And, it's just the fear of the process of this being, a bunch of recklessness. But I'm trading using high volume areas as my support to trade off of is like, that's my edge. And coming back to the VWAP sniper, the sniper squad strategy really highlighted that for me. And it's working. I feel like I can see, what I'm looking for much more clearly by looking for those high volume areas to trade against. But that's only half of the problem. The other half is, discipline and patience and discernment and sticking to my game plan. I would say that's the bigger part of the issue.
SEI.
So but if I can at least, trade the system, I think I can do well enough to at least tread water, and trade the way I want to trade, which is cutting the losers and adding to the winners. Um, I know my pod is I can imagine it looks very much like a bad influence on the outside, but um I've always wanted to add to my trades, and I was just so bad at picking the right trades that adding just seemed like, idiotic. And but I think I'm coming around to finding what I'm looking for, and we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's definitely hashtag bet more right now. Which I don't want to say bet more because I'm
SEI.
totally not with the gambling. I don't want to uh bring about a gambling vibe to what I'm doing, because one, gambling is haram for me. It's forbidden. Don't gamble. And I don't want to approach the stock market with a gambling mindset. But I want to add to my winners. When it's working, I want to keep, you know, and especially in the beginning, like at the beginning of the trade, when I buy in and I get like a higher high, higher low, for example, and the volume looks good, then okay, it's working. Let's add a little more, you know. So yeah. But anyway, we got one good day. One good day to what was a really good start to the month, aside from Friday and Monday, Friday and yesterday. And today we made up for that, and we are green on the month. So now we just have to be smart, be composed, be disciplined, and um, trade the system. So stay tuned. Anyways, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't. Discord links in the description, and I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.